So now what I would like to do is turn the proverbial stage over to our next presenter, which is Sari Sarrusa. If any of you have not yet met Sari, she is an extraordinary thinker, transformational psychologist, and an energy worker and healer and just all around amazing individual that I've had the pleasure to know for a year and really benefited from. So, Sari Sarrusa, take it away.
There's so many of you that I know and are dear to my heart. And as I look back 30 years ago, because that was what we were supposed to do, I'm like, how did I get here? And I guess we all ask ourselves that question. But it was my passion as I worked with the most violent prisoners and most violent parents, just really people in a lot of pain and their children. In Denver, where I'm from, a long time ago. And as a psychotherapist and a licensed mental health counselor, I realized none of the things I learned are going to work with these people. And so I began my quest of looking at the shadow or the dark side of all of us. And people would say, how can you work with these people? And I'm like, these people are us. So I began my journey. And my passion was to find transformational work that could change you from the inside out and to bring up the pain of that's in the unconscious and make it conscious so you can change it. And so I began my journey and on the way met my dear late husband, Jim Sarrusa, in Hawaii at a breath training. Just like this, there were 500 people and they said, look across the room and make eye contact with someone, and that's how we met. So that was my soul partner and also my partner in life. And we created Transformational Studies Institute. He made me to come from Denver to Florida, which was I had to give up my ski racing, which was hard. But we got together and did our passion. And we've been there 26 years. And what I could say as a mind-body institute is we were ridiculed by everyone because as psychotherapists, you weren't supposed to talk about mind-body, and we were doing all these weird things like psychokinesiology, muscle testing, breath work, but now everybody, I just want to celebrate that the consciousness has just evolved. And so when I think about my purpose or all of your purposes, it's not just one purpose, it evolves with us as we evolve. And over these 30 years, I've been able to work with children and families. That's one of my master's degrees, and also with individuals and couples. And these tools really work. When you transform something, it doesn't come back. So I try to do more experiential work with people and self-empower them, rather than just the typical talking. And one of our signature tools, which we took to Russia, was the transmutational breath work. And as we breathed the Russian people, because perestroika was just coming off, they said, my father is sitting on my liver. That was the translation, which is anger is our liver. And that was just an amazing experience. So we've taken our work all over the world and done retreats all over the world. So like what Michelle was saying, when you allow people to play and have fun, that's when the best of everyone comes out. So being a play therapist, that's what I would do with these families. And as they played, they would heal. So we go to Colorado every year, because that's where I live, in Crestone, Colorado, for 25 years. We've been taking people there. And last year I got to take 7 Parkland families along with the regular group. I found people were willing, the Suffolk Construction Company gave 7 families the chance to go. And what I learned as a trauma therapist about trauma is when you take people out of their environment of trauma, and put them in beauty and give them a sweat lodge and a Zen center at Crestone and the Babaji ashram and all these wonderful healing places, the trauma begins to fade. And even doing the EMDR, the eye movement work, is not as powerful as that. And so the man that we work with there, Roshi Christian, at the head of the Zen Center, said to them, go back as seeds of peace, not seeds of trauma. And I think that's what we all are, is giving people hope, seeds of peace, that you can have this peace. It belongs to you. It's your birthright. And so they were amazing when they went back to their community, and I've heard such good things about the children now, and they made it through, and they're in college, and they're doing wonderful things. So this year I'm doing a retreat in Georgia, my first time, at Elohis. It means sacred. And we have 2 spots left because someone went to the hospital. But I work now with Dr. Greg Bear, the author of Real Love, and it's the unconditional love movement that's sweeping the planet. And he's coming to the retreat to work with us. And he is channeling unconditional love, I can tell you that. And we're doing meditation, and we're doing yoga and breath work and all kinds of healing experiences. And that's coming up soon, so I'm excited about that. So my journey is, how do I carry on TSI without Jim? And that's been my big journey. And the last thing, just really quickly, is what I've created is the Anxiety Breakthrough Program. And you get to be with me 6 sessions, you get 6 videos, audios. And so I put together our tools. And this is really what's sweeping the planet right now, is anxiety. People are suffering so greatly, and as Jay was saying, not sleeping. So this program gives people tools so that they can combat this anxious mind. Because there's a lot we're worried about in the collective unconscious. And that's what people are holding right now, is the state of our world. Having a 21-year-old daughter, I know that they're very worried too about what they're inheriting. So I'm just so happy to see all of you and know that you're creating the transformation that's needed now, so we can drop some of this anxiety. So if you're interested, I have some things in the back, so thank you.